Hello, I'm Jordan Rayner, and for my final project, I chose to describe and go in depth on the supply chain processes involved with the Fairphone 5, which is a European manufacturer and a kind of a new smartphone design, been around for about 5 years, specializes in sourcing natural materials, is big on sustainability and efficiency, and all processes throughout the supply chain, which I will go more in depth into now. With planning, going along with the score model here, obviously demand forecasting is a large part of the plan. And for this company specifically, and this product being the fifth edition, we have more, in their case, more of a familiarity with the customer base, a smaller market, but it's been proven to be pretty loyal given that five editions have been made in 5 years of the company's existence. It's been around for a while, so we've been able to more accurately assess the demand needed and how that fluctuates with seasonality and things of that nature, as well as when a product is introduced, and obviously the popularity is expected to wear off at some point. And then from that demand forecasting, being able to make the right amount of said phones and put the correct amount into warehouses from there, and we'll talk about that more in depth as well. And then along with demand forecasting goes supply planning, which in the case of a company like this naturally is more complex due to their commitment to sustainability. As I mentioned, sourcing the materials is a unique process that crosses over oceans. In the case of this company, starting in Europe, many of these materials are hard to find throughout the world. We see some of these. I have a map a few slides in that'll show you more in depth, but Africa and Southeast Asia are hot spots for getting things for the screens and cameras, and the materials and metals needed to compose such a small device can create challenges for a company like this, and costs are involved with that as well. But it is an intricate design in terms of the supply plan. And then going alongside that is the inventory management. These are complex, obviously, products to both assemble, to procure, to design and put out. So just-in-time shipping is definitely what Fairphone has chosen to go with, and has kind of tested that method, and it's worked out well for them to keep inventory costs low, obviously storage costs low, not making more than is needed with a small customer base, and then having the price to kind of offset that to where profits are still attainable, and growth is expected to happen from there. But keeping margins short, not a lot of safety stock as you'd expect for a company and a product like this. And yeah, those together, put together, kind of the planning aspect for. And from there, there's the map I mentioned earlier. Just kind of shows how vast the procurement process is for a company like this. Lots of different metals and tech. You can see, I think it's the Democratic Republic of the Congo down there in Africa, where a lot of the metals are sourced, and obviously tech is there in Japan off the island, as you can see, in East Asia. And it all comes together from the headquarters there as well in Europe. And then in China, as you see, is where manufacturing will take place, and all resources are piled together, and the product is assembled from there. As you'd expect, low costs are associated with that, being the primary reason for the assembly there, as well as customer base being prevalent in nations such as South Korea and Japan. And that's the geographical diversification, just simply there on the map. North America is involved as well, as you can see there on the top right of that map. And then going beyond that, they're able to maintain this sort of widespread distribution due to gaining trust both ways with partners that they've worked with, sourcing materials. Obviously, they have a high standard of what's expected in terms of efficiency, and a lot goes into making sure that compliance is met with those sourcing and making the materials. There's a lot of ways to cut and lower prices that isn't obviously going to go along with what's expected in terms of when we think about efficiency and staying committed to sustainability and things of that nature. Sometimes that goes alongside with higher costs, which we see here in the case of this, just due to transportation costs of materials before the product is even assembled. It goes across the Indian Ocean and Pacific simultaneously, but that's to be expected. When such a commitment is made, costs will be incurred, but the customer respects that, as we see, as we're still able to make profits in this case, given the vast supply chain. Going on from there, key suppliers. Kind of goes along with sustainability. The responsible mineral assurance process just goes along with the suppliers will naturally be more limited in their nature. We don't have as much of a choice as to where we're gonna get our materials and metals from, just because not everybody wants to play by those rules of sustainability. They want money, and that's a fair thing, but it's not the thing that Fairphone is going after, and not the thing that their customer base wants put in place, even if it meant a cheaper option. Naturally, as expected, they attract people that are obviously aware and passionate about the environment, and they play to that in their procurement process throughout. And then, as you see below that, origin locations, just making sure that the wrong people aren't giving them the product in the wrong ways when comparing with what they stand for as a company. To make, like I said, East Asian primarily is where these are assembled, and it's very, as you see, quality control, efficiency, and durability are very important things. As these kind of sources and procurement these items come in from far away, it's important and challenging to make an efficient and durable product. And for Fairphone in particular, they put that at the forefront of their make process. If we are going to make something and incur a large cost to gather the materials and to put it out into production and sell it, it needs to be durable, it needs to last, and it needs to have raving reviews to keep a high price point and have the customer simultaneously coming back for more and to buy the next edition, which we've seen come true. Then alongside that, going back to sustainable production scheduling, making sure that we don't make too much too soon or too little too late. And that, like I said earlier, goes along with seasonality and when the product comes out and the expected demand, which is why the accuracy is important. And then to deliver, obviously the transportation process coming in is very vast. The procurement, and naturally as you'd expect going out, is also very diverse in its nature of seaports, inland transportation with trucking, and sometimes air, which is not always the case with phones like this, as they're subject to obviously air travel's kind of a more dangerous thing in terms of the durability and the integrity of the phone being upheld. And distribution, obviously, online market is big today, and that stands true for this company, as they're able to obviously make orders throughout the world, getting enough product to the right places and the right continents at the right time is a tough thing to really hone in on, but they've done a great job of distributing the products as they come out in the areas necessary, playing to their markets, playing to their strengths, the customer base, where is that at, where can we get the product there, while also maintaining sustainability and keeping it durable. And then that's aided by the minimalistic design and the sustainable packaging to assemble the product and to send it out, keeping it small, making it hard to damage, using the same materials that are used to assemble the phone to stay true to efficiency and things like that. Kind of puts it all together, but it nevertheless is very important for them. And that kind of encapsulates the deliveries. And then the return, pretty straightforward. Warranties, repair oriented. We send it out. We have extra parts. We take your old device, we put that into a new phone, new system, in order to cut costs, but also to build trust in the integrity of maybe old parts that can be refined and used in the future. And that keeps, again, customers coming back if they can trust the part and stick to it going forward. And then enable. From all of these combined, transparency across the supply chain is very important for Fairphone. Making sure we communicate with the customer our commitment to their sustainability and to the environment. And that's kind of a trickle down effect that starts at the bottom with sourcing, as I mentioned before. And then the conflict free process, staying true to sustainability, goes along with the same thing. I mean, it's kind of the company design. It's what they stand for. And not a large customer base, not everybody wants that, but those that do, Fairphone makes sure that they're taken care of and that their needs and their passion is met, while also simultaneously they're delivering a trustworthy and usable product. And yeah, that's a little bit about Fairphone, how they use the score method and other things to enable their complex supply chain to run smoothly throughout the years, and looks to be able to stand the test of time and maintain that same level of efficiency going into the future.